I know everyone just sat down, but I'm going to ask you to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Good evening and welcome to the 2021 in-person, almost very close to normal, Willsboro Central School commencement ceremony. My name is Justin Gardner, and I have the honor of serving as the superintendent of the Willsboro Central School District. I would first like to welcome our Board of Education, staff, family, friends, alumni, students, and graduates to our ceremony and celebration of achievement this evening. I would also like to welcome everyone that may be viewing the live stream of our ceremony at home this evening. Each year, it is our honor to induct members to our Wall of Distinction. The Wall of Distinction was created to recognize deserving Willsboro alumni or community members for their achievements, prominence, and distinction in the community and society. Since the Wall of Distinction was initiated over 12 years ago, the committee has selected some of the school's finest attendees and difference makers in our community to join the Wall. Each year, the committee has picked one or two individuals to have their name, picture, and small biography etched onto a plaque for our students to view as they pass by the Wall each day. It is my pleasure to announce our nominee for this year, Mr. Patrick Daniel. Patrick was a graduate and valedictorian for the WCS class of 1989. And I had prepared a short bio of Patrick, but I have received one that he prepared because he's unable to join us this evening, so I'm going to read from that now. Following Willsboro, Patrick attended Cornell University, graduating with honors from the College of Engineering. While a student, he was a varsity fencer and earned a place on the All-American Intercollegiate Fencing Association team his senior year. In 1993, Patrick also received Cornell Athletics Award for Outstanding Achievement. Following his undergraduate program, he attended the University of California at Berkeley, where he completed a Master of Engineering degree as a Jane Lewis Fellow and Parker Davies Trask Fellow. He later earned his MBA at Berkeley's Haas School of Business. While there, he met his wife in an economics course taught by Federal Chair and U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. He also had the distinction of delivering the commencement address at his graduation there. Patrick holds patents in robotics and artificial intelligence and has appeared in publications worldwide in regard to his work in the development and commercialization of autonomous technologies. During his career, he led operations and R&D teams across North America, Europe, and Asia. Working under the title of Global Strategist, he advised the chairman of Samsung Electronics in Seoul on business and technology matters. As an entrepreneur, he co-founded or joined founders of multiple venture-backed technology companies with successful exits. The Wall Street Journal named Patrick in its annual technology awards for his contributions to the field of robotics as an industry. Patrick has certainly accomplished a lot since his time here at WCS, and we congratulate him on all of his professional achievements and on his recognition as this year's Wall of Distinction recipient. Patrick and his family are not able to attend this evening, but Ms. Carol Dickerson is here on their behalf. Please join me in giving a round of applause for this year's Wall of Distinction nominee, Patrick Daniil. In just a few minutes, the class of 2021 will receive diplomas to mark their graduation from high school. The diplomas these graduates receive represent years of hard work, commitment, dedication, and achievement. Today is the day when all that effort finally pays off. But for every student here tonight, there is a support system that helped them reach this point. Parents, grandparents, siblings, and other loved ones, I want to thank you for all your hard work and support that has contributed to our graduates' success. In addition to the supports that these students received at home, there are countless Willsboro faculty and staff members that positively impacted our students, and in some way, either large or small, contributed to them being here this evening. At this time, I would like to have a round of applause for all of the family members and faculty that made this night possible for our graduates. I would especially like to recognize Mr. Ford and Mrs. Alden in the counseling office, and our senior class advisors, Mrs. Liebeck and Ms. Pierce-Nolet, for all they did to make our ceremony look great and run smoothly tonight. Please also give a special round of applause and thank you to retiring WCS staff members Laura Bridge, Margie Jaquis, Sue LaFontaine, and Randy Swires. Before I speak directly to our graduates, I would like to say a few words on their behalf, as I want to highlight the great accomplishments of the group seated behind me. While tonight is a celebration of the end of one journey, it's important that we acknowledge the successes they've achieved along the way. I know it's hard not to look at younger generations through the lens of our own nostalgia sometimes. Each generation looks at those that follow and say things like, kids these days, or back in my day, right, things were a lot harder and tougher. But eventually, each generation ends up proving their predecessors wrong. Young people of the 1920s challenged tradition and societal norms, and in return faced criticism from older generations. Yet those young people of the 1920s later faced many challenges, including the Great Depression, World War II, and the last pandemic prior to COVID-19. Eventually, this group of rebellious young people were honorably referred to as the greatest generation. And this is just one example of how a younger generation was initially viewed as underachieving and later showed that they could accomplish greatness. Today, America's education system is often criticized in a similar manner. And in turn, so are our students. It frustrates me to hear these criticisms when I've seen the great work that our students produce day in and day out. I would argue that America's students, especially those here tonight, are not only being asked to do more than any students before them, but they have successfully reached the bar that continues to be raised higher and higher. These graduates are proof that the sky is not falling and that education in America is strong and thriving. The graduates of 2021 have had to face unprecedented challenges during their journey. Our state's education system has undergone systemic changes throughout their class of 2021's formative years. They have faced extreme changes to standards and curriculum, major cuts to state education budgets, increasing societal pressures, and to throw it on, a global pandemic right there at the end. Yet, despite facing all of these challenges, our students have not only survived, but excelled. And I am beyond impressed with their achievements and know that they are more than ready for the next chapters in their lives. Now for the graduates. So I'm talking to you, but I can't turn around completely, all right? So I said a lot of nice things about you. Don't let it go to your head, okay? You still got to work hard. You still have a lot of hard work ahead of you. Yes, you are about to graduate, and yes, you have achieved great things during your time here. But the real challenges of your life are just about to begin. Throughout the past few years, I've seen all of you working hard to reach this point. Some of you have had to work harder than others, and some of you have had more support than others. But regardless of how you ran the race, here you all are tonight at the finish line. So here's the challenge that you face. You're ending one race, but a new, much more challenging race is about to begin. This new race is the one that adults have been warning you about for years. The scary reality known as the real world. Right, Reagan? Okay. I wish I could give you all the secret formula to success after high school, but the truth is, there are far too many variables to provide any of you with a detailed roadmap for your future. However, despite all the negative effects of the pandemic that we don't want to mention any more than we have to, despite those negative effects, there was one positive for everyone standing or sitting on this stage right now, and that is that you've been given real-world lessons on facing adversity that most graduates never get to experience until after they leave school. You now have firsthand personal knowledge of the long-time phrase that frustrated all of us growing up when we'd hear it from our parents and families, but that every single one of us has heard over and over and over again. Life isn't, Stephen? Life isn't what? Fair. Come on. Your mom's told you that. I know your mom's told you that. Life's not fair. And I just recently heard a different way to say that. They said the only thing in life that's fair is a ball hit between the first and third baselines. I thought that was a nice way to say it. The fact that life isn't fair has been shown in great detail to you throughout the last 2 years, especially as students finishing your junior and senior years of high school. We know it hasn't been fair, but on behalf of our entire school community, I congratulate you all for facing these difficulties with great poise and maturity. We cannot control the disruptions that have been caused in recent months, but we can control a response to it. And your responses have shown that you are all mature beyond your years, and as a result, are all more than ready for whatever lies ahead. And at this point, it's traditional to offer specific pieces of advice to help you as you prepare for the future. Every graduation speech has some sort of advice, but anything that's ever been shared can really be boiled down to 3 general rules to follow. So here they are. There's only 3. Show up, try hard, and be kind. On the surface, these 3 things sound simple and easy, yet many of us struggle with them each and every day. Most people can do 1 or 2 of these things, but those that are able to consistently do all 3 typically find great success in whatever they are working towards. Showing up is half the battle. Showing up to work, showing up to school, showing up for friends and family when they need us most. Showing up is one of the easiest things to do, but the real challenge is repeating this step when things get tough. Everyone can show up for day 1, but can you continue to show up even when you have to face adversity, or when you're showing up for isn't pleasant or fun? Try hard. Again, trying hard doesn't seem like much, but when combined with showing up every day, trying hard will indeed separate you from others. Regardless of the situation, the task, or your ability level, trying your hardest will always lead to positive results. There are many things in life that we cannot control, but our effort and how hard we try is always something we have complete control over. And the third one, be kind. Being kind to others is advice we've all received since kindergarten. Remember that anger, resentment, jealousy, and other negative thoughts, they won't change the hearts of anyone else in your life, but it will change yours. Each moment, each day, it can be great or not, but the choice is yours. Choose to be kind, especially to those who may not deserve it, because they may need it more than anyone else. As you move through life, you'll learn that these 3 simple steps, which seem easy enough that they shouldn't be hard to find everywhere you look, are actually way less common than you'd believe. Show up, try hard, be kind, and the rest will take care of itself. WCS Class of 2021, you are truly a group of young men and women that have the potential to have a dramatic, positive impact on our world. You have the character, the capacity, the drive, and the ability to keep making the world a better place. Our future is bright because of all of you. You leave here tonight prepared to transform both the future of your community and your world, and I know I speak for everyone here when I say that I cannot wait for that to unfold. Class of 2021, thank you, well done, and good luck. So this is kind of like a batting order. The speakers get better as you go along, just like the hitters. All right? So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Stephen Liebeck, our class salutatorian.
Hello. Before I get started, I would like to thank all friends, family, and faculty and staff members for attending tonight. I'm very thankful for my family, who have made everything I've done so far in my early life possible. I'm beyond grateful to have had the constant support you've all given me all these years. It was the best feeling to see all of you at every academic event, theater production, and game of mine. I realize that's something many kids don't get to say. I love you all very much. That was just to get my mother to cry. I would also like to state that, for the record, valedictorian is completely overrated and Reagan can keep it. Obviously, I'm joking, even though we all knew he'd get it since, like, first grade. In all seriousness, congratulations to Reagan on that outstanding achievement. It feels like just yesterday when we went on that class bonding field trip because all of us despise one another so much. Or when all of the guys were going to prom in 7th grade with no dates, and then proceeded to get a new date every year after that. Guilty. And to the girls in our class, bravo to you. I seriously have no idea how you dealt with all of us guys over the years. That deserves its own speech. There have been many great salutatorian speeches that I've heard over the years, which really put me in a tough spot by having to live up to years past. This had me questioning whether or not I should really be the one coming up here to talk to you all today. And it didn't help when I started typing this speech and I spelled salutatorian wrong. And no, that's not a joke. But when I took the time to really think about what it meant to come up and speak to everybody, I realized that all I can really do is talk about some of the things I've learned over the years while attending Willsboro. I realize that most people here have experienced much more of what life has to offer, including many of my own classmates, but perhaps I can offer some of my own helpful insight. From the time I entered high school, I had made it my goal to earn the salutatorian rank, because like I said, there was just no beating Reagan. I realized that it was going to take a lot of work and dedication to my academics. It wasn't always easy. There were many times I would feel overwhelmed with the workload and didn't want to do my homework. There were many nights after one of my games where I felt exhausted and I didn't want to do my homework. And there were many times that I simply did not feel like doing my homework. Especially this year. Regardless, I would do the work no matter the circumstance. Most times. Now, sometimes I debated if it was worth all the extra work just to get a speech and something that looked nice on my college application. But over time, I started realizing that it wasn't even necessarily about getting the grades that I did. I started realizing that the main point I should be taking away from trying to reach my goal was putting an emphasis on hard work and doing more than expected, even without the benefits at times. This helped me understand that if you really make a deal with yourself to work harder, you can do great things. Having this mindset carried over into other aspects of my own life, whether it be sports, my job, or even just everyday life. I've learned over the years just how important having the right mindset is. This was something that I was told all about from the time I was a kid, specifically by my father. As I've gotten older, I've realized just how important this is to have. There have been plenty of times in my life that I needed to try and find the bright side of things. Like when I was told at 4 years old that I had a rare disease in my hip and that my chances of being able to do physical activity by the time I got out of high school would be very slim. I could make the argument that that's when I learned how to develop the correct mindset without fully understanding it. From going to physical therapy every week, from having to earn my strength back, from watching every other kid my age get to run around, and even from having to watch my classmates wipe their snot on my little couch I would have to sit in when I'd be in school. I feel that maybe it could be viewed as a blessing in disguise. I was able to learn from that young of an age that if I could overcome something as serious as that, then the sky's the limit for the rest of my life. I'm sorry to bring down the mood, but I'm also not going to sit up here and pretend that life's a fairy tale and that everyone's going to get a happy ending. Life isn't always going to be a cakewalk. For example, the entirety of 2020, I think it's pretty safe to say that most people struggled adjusting to what this year had to offer. I know I did, and if I'm being completely honest, my senior year wasn't anything like I'd hoped it'd be. Even taking COVID out of the equation, there were plenty of frustrating experiences. I remember during the opening days of school this year, I had a summer soccer game, and in the middle of the game, a kid on the opposing team took the ball and punted it at the back of my head. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, a video was taken of it and posted online. Who would have thought America would rave about a video as simple as that? I stopped keeping count of the amount of likes after it got to 2 million. I felt completely humiliated in the sport that I loved. I was the laughingstock of not only the school, but much of the country. And many of my own teammates let it be known to me that they thought it was hilarious. Another experience from this year happened when I let one bad day get to me. It was one bad day where I let my emotions get the best of me. One bad day where I made a terrible mistake that cost me my senior soccer season. And I never got to end knowing what would or could have been my last game. The reason for sharing these stories tonight is because I know you can learn something from them like I had to. Both of these incidents involved a sport that I love, and both times I sincerely debated ever playing the sport I had dedicated countless hours to ever again. The first thing I learned from both of these incidents is that many people who you saw cheering for you when things were going well can be the same ones to stand over top of you when you're down. I learned that very quickly. I also learned that one moment of losing focus in your mental state is enough to cause harm to yourself. And possibly the most important thing I've learned is that you have to look past what other people say about you. Because the bottom line is, if you don't believe in yourself, no one is going to go out of their way to do that for you. Now, after taking some time of reflecting from everything that happened, I could have quit. I could have said that that was enough for me and never looked back. I instead decided that I was going to work harder than I had before, regardless of what had happened. And after some time of keeping to myself and working hard, I was able to play in front of my future coach, who offered me a spot on his team at Keuka College. This happened without getting a single recommendation from anyone, him having no knowledge of who I was prior to the camp, and me coming off the most mentally defeating soccer season of my life. And that's something I'm proud of. There can be a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to make an honest effort to get out. Now, obviously, not everyone can connect with soccer or even sports, but this applies to everything. And at one point or another, everyone in this room has had to or will have to try their absolute best to get something that means a lot to them. I hope you can take everything I just talked about into consideration for those of you who will have to make that decision in the future. One of my favorite quotes that my father always told me was one I didn't understand at first. He would tell me, "Stephen, you can't fly with the eagles when you're hanging out with the turkeys." And when he first started telling me this, I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, and it made absolutely no sense to me. But I started seeing the pattern of when and why he would use it. It was every time I would settle. It was every time I would lower my standards just because of what others were doing. And that's how I learned the powerful truth behind that statement. It is incredibly hard to thrive in a toxic environment where no one is there to better themselves. And I strongly believe that we as a community should take that seriously. We should pride ourselves in other people in our community having success. We should work with others to become better people. There's no reason to tear others down just for the sake of doing so. And I'm sad to say I witnessed it more times than I would have liked to during my years here. I hope this is one of the biggest takeaways for people who look back and remember what I had to say here tonight. All in all, it's been quite a ride, Willsboro. You can choose to remember me however you'd like. Just know everything I did during my time here was well intended. You can remember me as a kid who always made stupid, sarcastic comments to everyone in the hall, or you can remember me as a kid who wanted nothing more than to make someone laugh. You can remember me as a kid who had his younger brother tutor him in math, or you can remember me as the kid who did whatever it took to improve in the subject he struggled with. You can even remember me as the kid who got a ball kicked in the back of his head and then made a stupid mistake to end his senior season. Or you can remember me as a kid who learned from his mistakes and ended up making a college team. Through all the highs and lows during my times here, as anxious as I am to start a new chapter in my life, I would not take back anything that I've experienced here. From being around all my classmates all these years, to being able to see much of my family in the halls, and especially being able to annoy my teachers with my sarcastic comments to everything. So much so to the point that they would go to my mother genuinely concerned. It's been a pleasure growing up with all of you and seeing those older than us move on as we will be now. I wish nothing but the best for this community and the underclassmen that will represent it as I once did. I sincerely hope that every single one of you could take at least one thing I've talked about tonight and apply it to your own life. Take it all with a grain of salt, if you will. Just know that one way or another, you will have to look back at your own life choices and learn from them. Because if you don't, and you choose to continue to make the wrong choices, as I was once told, there's no point in watering a dead flower. Either way, it's time for me to move on, so if you need me, I'll be 5.5 hours west at a college that is made of 70% girls studying psychology and kicking a ball. So good luck to you all, and I sure do hope you'll remember me. Peace out, Willsboro. Thank you, and I would like to welcome the valedictorian and the best shooter in the league, Reagan Arnold.
Good evening. Thought I wouldn't be nervous about this, but I am. Welcome to the graduation of the class of 2021. We did it. While writing this speech, I made myself one promise. COVID would not be a part of it. I think we can all agree there has been enough talk about it in our lives for over a year now. So moving on. I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to all the teachers, administrators, coaches, lunch staff, bus drivers, and janitorial staff. The dedication and hard work that all of you have shown is incredible. Thank you to all of the role models who have made a difference in the life of a graduate on this stage. There are so many who have impacted one of us, knowingly or not. Little things, like having a teacher surprise you by coming to one of your sporting events or drama performances, or a coach giving their time to work one-on-one in the off-season, or a janitor giving a starving teenager a snack, or a bus driver greeting you with a joyful good morning every single day, or the lunch staff setting aside a big bowl of my favorite green peppers when they're close to running out. these little things are what have made my experience at Willsboro Central School special. It truly does take a village to raise a kid. To all the families of graduates with us today, thank you. None of us are here today without you. I want to specifically thank my mom and dad and my sister Mallory. You guys mean the world to me, and I love you. I promise I will miss you when I go to school in the fall, even if I try to tell you differently. As high school comes to a close, I have begun to think back more and more to when we were all young and innocent. Okay, let's be honest, Chase hasn't ever been innocent. Reminiscing about childhood can bring back so many fond memories. For instance, I still can remember Hunter trying to convince me that the Cowboys are a good football team. I mean, it seems like it was just yesterday. Maybe it was. Anyways, he would have been right if we were growing up in the 90s. I also recall how Jade used to be the tallest in our grade. That's kind of funny to think about now, isn't it? All jokes aside, there is a lot that can be learned from our childhood. Some of you might remember that as a child, I constantly went through phases where I had certain obsessions or weird tics. These include walking on the sides of my feet, constantly spinning, and an infatuation with batteries. Don't ask. My second grade teacher, Mrs. LaFerrier, might also remember taking away recess from me because I wouldn't stop taking phantom basketball shots during class. Oops, sorry, Mrs. LaFerrier. However, I think my biggest fascination was with trains. My favorite toy when I was a young boy was this enormous combination of tracks and bridges on which Thomas the Tank Engine and friends would move by themselves. My father and I spent hours constructing this marvel. Afterwards, I would watch the many locomotives move from place to place in awe. It was a great source of pride for me that I played a part in putting my favorite toy together. You may remember that Thomas's number one goal in life was to be kind and to be of service to others. He would move things from place to place, only wanting to be useful. Thomas's attitude towards life only increased my love for the train set. I loved it so much that I would get angry at others when they went anywhere near it. I still vividly recall my cousin Nick taunting me by touching it over and over again at my 4th birthday party. I was so mad at him. Throughout my early childhood, this train was my best friend. How dare he mess with it? This past winter, right before my 18th birthday, I was rummaging through boxes in the basement when a little blue locomotive caught my eye, resting in a pile of unconnected tracks. I knew what I had to do. This time, I had no help building it, but the enthusiasm I felt rivaled that of my 4-year-old self. I was worried that some pieces may be missing, but there was no need. Every piece was there. As I came closer to completion, I could not wait to put Thomas and friends on the tracks and let them run, just like old times. But it was not meant to be. None of the trains were functional. The batteries were crusted, and the engines were shot. I was heartbroken, as silly as that may sound. A piece of my childhood was dead. I kept asking myself if this was true for my entire childhood. This is an easy thought to have during this period of life. We are all leaving high school to start our next journey. Tonight. It is intimidating and frightening in many ways. Is our childhood over? Is our time to play and grow already behind us? Questions such as these continue to circulate in my head. I don't quite feel like an adult yet, but I sure as heck don't feel like a high school student. As much as I want to start my life and become more independent, there's a big part of me that just wants to see Thomas move by himself one more time. But Thomas is dead. However, dead does not mean forgotten. We should always work to remember the wonder and awe that we felt as children playing with our favorite toys. We should always work to remember the curiosity that we experienced during our younger years, the same curiosity that Thomas the Train invoked in me. We should always work to remember our childhood, and this is due to the impact each aspect of our lives has had on who we are today and who we will become. It is important to always try to find the passion that makes us feel the same awe, the same desire to learn, and the same joy that our toys brought us years ago. I know that without this feeling, I would be lost. To my fellow graduates, when we leave this gym tonight, we will be taking our entire childhood with us. Every lesson we have learned, every experience that has shaped us, and every person who has helped us and been there for us will influence our future. Our friends, teachers, coaches, parents, grandparents, godparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, girlfriends, boyfriends, clergy, pets, and yes, even siblings. This is incredible to me. When I think about life in this way, our next journey becomes less intimidating and much less frightening. On the contrary, it becomes exhilarating. This is because our childhoods will never be dead, never ever. Childhood is about learning, experiencing, and happiness. These three words should remain the guiding forces in our lives, along with kindness and service to others. If we do that, we will be, as Thomas would say, very useful engines. If we do that, Thomas the Tank Engine will remain alive and well. Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Charmaine Flynn, our guest speaker.
day of 8th grade, I didn't want to have a repeat of the behavior from 7th grade. When I showed the class these write-ups, Maya's eyes got as big as golf balls. Chase leaned over to Trenton and Hunter, whispered something to them, causing them to smile, a very devious smile. I thought, oh gosh, here we go again. I'm really going to get gray hair. Well, what I did not realize was your class had bonded in your own way. You showed this to me all the time, it's just I didn't see it. Some of your class members went and came back, making the class happy because you were whole again. Others were added to the class, making for a bigger family. Over the past year, families do as they have done. There's some ups and downs, but for the most part, you have been supportive of each other over a very trying year. For that, I am so very proud of all of you. I have heard over the past year many conversations in my study hall where some of you would reminisce over the past 13 years. So now it's my time to reminisce. Reagan. Thank you for playing golf and not baseball. You see, Reagan, he threw a stone at the tree outside my window, my office. He missed the tree, hit my window, and tore a very big hole in the screen. Then there's Reagan's binders. He's an amazing student, and how he finds anything in them, I have no clue. Desiree. I never heard much out of Desiree. She was one of the quiet ones. You know, the ones you have to watch out for? Then senior year hit, and all she talked about was going south to warmer weather in college. Desiree, I hope you do get your chance, and I know you will enjoy the experience. Robbie, you and I have had many conversations over the years where you were determined to state your opinion on what you thought was right and wrong with the world. This year, most of our conversations have been about how to earn and or make money. I hope you reach your financial dreams. Brennan, another one of the quiet ones. He would sit and watch, and when the time was just right, he would pounce and then act all innocent with that little grin he does. Over the years, he has learned how to come out of his shell and grown with great determination. I have never seen you mad or disrespectful, but watch out for him on the basketball court. He's a beast. Jacob. You can be quiet, but when your time comes, can you ever give your opinion? I really like that in my math class because you would end up solving a problem just by talking to the question. I don't know if you know this, but your class, and myself included, would stop and listen to you to talk to your work. It made for some very interesting entertainment in class. Maya. Sweet, innocent, shy Maya. You would come into my office complaining about how others were and be so mad I thought you were going to burst. Then a switch turned off and you became that shy person again. You would do the same in my math class too. Now look at you, a New Visions graduate and going on to study in the field of medicine. I'm so proud of you. Kyle, you always had a smile on your face and seemed calm, cool, and collected. You have a kind heart and soul. So much so I had to explain an answer on your algebra regions to the teachers who were correcting them. Before starting, we teachers had to agree how we were going to accept answers, so I brought up the word bunnies because a question talked about rabbits. Yes, Kyle, your answer of bunnies was accepted. Hunter. What do you mean? I'm sorry, that's all he would do when he came into my office. This was Hunter's question to everything. I mean everything. Hunter, you could make me and others laugh, but you could also drive us nuts. Some of this gray hair, that's yours. You have really grown over the last few years and have gone past your comfort zone. Keep going. went in. He was one of my frequent flyers into my office. It was never his fault, and he was never there. Nope. After he would settle down and we would talk over the problem, he would usually say bye, have a nice day when leaving my office. Other times, well, let's just say he was still pretty mad at me. But there's a very soft side to Trenton that I don't think many of you know. As mad as he would get with me, he would always give me a Christmas present when he was in elementary school. The one I remember the most was the statue of a lady who was gardening and had flowers all around her. I still have her, thank you. Stephen! Thank you for letting me know that the information I was given at a conference was not accurate. You confirmed to me that students want to know that they are respected and thought of in positive ways by the language we teachers use. I would, and I still do, use the generic terms hun, dear, and sweetie when I address my students. At the conference, we were told not to use these words because they could be taken as rude and disrespectful. I asked all my classes the next day to please let me know if they take offense to my names. Stephen, you said, Mrs. Flynn, when you use those names, we know that you really love us and care about us. Thank you, Stephen. Robert. Smile. He loves to take quizzes and tests, don't ya? Robert would smile his big smile, see, the one he's got now, and then proceed to get the teacher off track just long enough by talking about something that has to do with the test, so there was not enough time in class to start or sometimes not enough time to complete the test. Robert, never lose that smile. Oh, I remember them. Devin. Where's Devin? Devin. Since you are new to me, and I really don't know you that well, I had to go to a resource. Your girlfriend. I found out that you're a sports junkie, you don't like sushi, and you just bought your dream car, a Volkswagen Rabbit. Just kidding. He bought a Mazda Miata. Zoom, zoom. Good luck pursuing your career in digital art and design and playing soccer the rest of your life. Jade, where do I start? Jade was another frequent flyer in my office, but not for getting into trouble. It was more for support when the boys made her so upset when they were on the playground or in gym class. Jade would come into my office screaming and yelling, and I mean screaming and yelling. And I mean, the boys were just picking on her and they wouldn't leave her alone, and blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard. Or how her glasses broke and her mom would be so mad at her. Fast forward to my algebra class. Guess who was the first person the boys would go to for help in their math? Jade, don't lose your feisty personality. It sure makes you unique. Nicholas. Where's Nicholas? Nicholas. You're another one of those quiet ones. Instigators. You would give me that look like it wasn't me. Then look at Hunter or Brady or Chase and then smile. See? That smile right there. I really hope when you go off to college this does not change and you show everyone just how intelligent you are. Chase. I may be dating myself, but does everybody remember the Tasmanian Devil? This was Chase on the second day of his arrival. The first day he scoped everything out. And this behavior continued up to his senior year. You could find Chase any place he could fit. Under the desks in Mr. White's class, in lockers, etc. Oh, speaking of Mr. White's class, Chase and his cohorts learned about celestial bodies, specifically the moon. Chase, you kept me laughing and smiled for many years. Thank you. Taylor, You have the biggest, brownest, most beautiful eyes anyone would ever want to see. You also have a bright smile that you flash when working with your class and your teachers. Good luck in your career. Brady, where is he? Brady, where do I start with you? I knew that I did not have to say much to you when you were sent to my office because your mother would give you that look, wait until you get home. I tried this look when you were in my class because you and the 5 other boys in class would not leave Jade alone. Brandy, you can do the look a lot better. I think you've had more practice. Brady, thank you for all your support with the rifle team. You were and still are a great inspiration to the team. Okay, since I did not have much time to do anything real fancy or special for graduation, I added my own flair for this occasion. I taped on the back of each of your chairs a personal note from me. Please don't open them until you get home. As many of you know, I like to grow flowers. So under each one of your chairs is a pink carnation that historically symbolizes I will never forget you. And that holds true in so many ways. I now leave every and each one of you with these thoughts. Stand tall. Walk proud. Know who you are. And remember who you are. Your education never ends, and no one can ever take it away from you.
So, Mrs. Flynn, I got a text during that the microphone may have gone out a couple times. So if you could just repeat that from right here. I'm just joking. But I did want to make sure, because I think at the beginning it wasn't going. But if you want to say hi to Mom one more time so that she can hear, speak into this, stick it there, and say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom, out in Yuma, Arizona.
I want to make sure she got that. So again, I just want to say great job to our student and guest speakers. Can we give all of them a round of applause? So at this point in our program, I'm going to announce the recipients of the awards and ask that graduates stand and be recognized when I say their name. And we can give them a nice individual round of applause after each person stands. The awards will be given to the graduates along with their diplomas later in the ceremony. The first award is the Valedictorian Award of $500 from the Willsboro Teachers Association and a plaque from the Board of Education. This award and plaque goes to Reagan Arnold. The Salutatorian Award, $300 from the Willsboro Teachers Association and a plaque from the Board of Education. This award goes to Stephen Liebeck. The Academic Excellence Award, $1,500 per year for up to 4 years from the New York State Board of Regents. This award goes to Reagan Arnold. The Academic Excellence Award in the amount of $500 per year for up to 4 years from New York State Board of Regents. This award goes to Stephen Liebeck. The Alex and Lucille Richard Memorial Award in the amount of $100 from the family. This award goes to Brady Sweat. The Alfred Tross Memorial Scholarship Award in the amount of $300 from the family. This award goes to Robert McShane. The Allen Scholarship and Education Award, $5,000 per year for up to 4 years, given by the Essex Community Fund. This award goes to Stephen Liebeck. The Ashley McDougall Memorial Award in the amount of $50, given from the family. This award goes to Stephen Liebeck. The Bernard G. Oliver Jr. Memorial Award in the amount of $200 from the family. This award goes to Brady Sweat. The Cable Communications of Willsboro Award in the amount of $500. This award goes to Kyle Jakes Britton. The Champlain National Bank Scholarship in the amount of $500. This award goes to Nick Riethel. The following students have received the Crary Education Grant in the amount of $1,100 per year for up to 4 years. Kyle Jakes Britton. And then we have the same award in the amount of $900 per year for up to 4 years, Brennan Farney. The same Crary Education Grant Award in the amount of $900 for up to 4 years to Jade Finney. The same award in the amount of $850 a year for up to 4 years for Brady Sweat. The same award for $600 per year for up to 4 years for Stephen Liebeck. And the same award for $600 per year for up to 4 years for Desiree Kazava. The CSEA Essex County Local 816 Scholarship in the amount of $300 for children of members. There are 2 recipients this year. The first is Hunter King. And the second is Trenton King. The following students have received the D.O.B. Colburn Education Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 per year for up to 4 years, Reagan Arnold. And the same award in the amount of $1,000 per year for up to 4 years, Stephen Liebeck. The same award for $500 per year for up to 4 years, Brennan Farney. The same award for $500 per year for up to 4 years, Desiree Kazava. The same award for $500 per year for 4 years, Kyle Jakes Britton. And the same award for $500 per year for 4 years to Brady Sweat. The Earl Jones Memorial Award in the amount of $500 per year for up to 4 years for Mr. E. Norman McGrattan, Jade Finney. The Essex County Sheriff's Office Benevolent Fund Scholarship in the amount of $500, Hunter King. The Florence Banta Memorial Award in the amount of $500 from the family, Jacob Flora. The Helen Legate Memorial Award in the amount of $300 from the family, Desiree Kazava. The Iroquois Chapter 562 Order of the Eastern Star, $500 from the Eastern Star, Jade Finney. The Iroquois Lodge 715 Masonic Order, $500 from the Masonic Lodge, Trenton King. The Keisha Pierce Memorial Award, $200 from the family, Maya Green. The Lawrence Bliss Memorial Award, $100 from the family to Hunter King. The Louise Tross Memorial Scholarship Award, $300 from the family to Reagan Arnold. The next award is the National Honor Society Award in the amount of $50 for each student from the Willsboro Teachers Association. We have 6 students, so I'm going to call all 6, and then we'll save our applause for the end when all 6 are standing. Stephen Liebeck, Reagan Arnold, Kyle Jakes Britton, Maya Green, Desiree Kazava, and Brennan Farney. The Neil J. DeMar Memorial Award, $500 to the salutatorian from the family, Stephen Liebeck. The New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association, $600 to the children of members, Robert Drolette. The New York State School Business Official Scholarship in the amount of $300 to Stephen Liebeck. The Payne Memorial Library and Friends of the Library Award, $100, Reagan Arnold. The Ricky Provost Memorial Award, $250 each from family and friends. The 2 recipients are Reagan Arnold and Brennan Farney. The Roy Shepard Sportsmanship Award, $50 from the family, Reagan Arnold. The Seacom Federal Credit Union Shirley J. Eagles Scholarship in the amount of $500 to Brady Sweat. The Sergeant Justin Risley Garvey Memorial Award, $200 from the family, Reagan Arnold. The Stephen N. Whitney Memorial Award, $150 from the family, Devin Meacham. The Stiles 4-H Scholarship, $50 from the Cornell Cooperative Extension Association of Essex County, Stephen Liebeck. The Foundation of CVPH, a $1,000 award, Stephen Liebeck. The Tony M. Spirito Memorial Scholarship Award, $250 from the family, Desiree Kazava. The Virginia Sayward Memorial Award, $250 from the family, Jade Finney. The WCS Class of 1980 Memorial Award, $50 given in memory of deceased members of the class. Chase Sousa. The Willsboro Essex Scholarship Fund Award, $1,000 each year per year up to 4 years. We have 2 recipients, Reagan Arnold and Stephen Liebeck. The Willsboro Central School CSEA Award Local 6811, $100 to the children of members. We have 2 recipients this year, Hunter King and Trenton King. The Willsboro Essex and EMS Award. There are 2 recipients of $100 awards, Taylor Spear and Maya Green. The Willsboro Reber Fire Department Award in the amount of $100 each. We have 2 recipients, Taylor Spear and Brady Sweat. The Willsboro Reber Fire Department Auxiliary Award in the amount of $100, Jade Finney. The Willsboro Youth Commission Award, $50 to each student for their commitment to the Youth Commission throughout high school. There are 5 recipients of this award this year, Brady Sweat, Maya Green, Stephen Liebeck, Desiree Kazava, and Reagan Arnold. The Chick-fil-A Remarkable Future Scholarship in the amount of $2,500, awarded to an employee who was recommended by his manager, shows active involvement in community service, and is a team player and has good academic grades. Robert Drolette. Robert, I would check and see if you get free Chick-fil-A sandwiches with that. Sounds like you should. The Mountain Lake Services Foundation Scholarship, $250 a year, renewable for up to 4 years for $1,000. Stephen Liebeck. The following students receive scholarships from their individual colleges. Brady Sweat received $20,100 per year for up to 4 years, equaling $80,400 from Paul Smith College. Stephen Liebeck received $26,122 per year for up to 4 years, equaling $104,488 from Keuka College. Reagan Arnold received $52,400 per year for up to 4 years, equaling $209,600 from Hamilton College. Brennan Farney received $54,000 per year for up to 4 years, equaling $216,000 from St. Lawrence University. Those loudest cheers are from Mom and Dad on those. Kyle Jakes Britton received $67,900 per year for up to 4 years, equaling $271,600. And that is for the University of Rochester. Please help me congratulate all of our scholarship and award recipients. Now it's the part we've all been waiting for. Board President, Mrs. Phyllis Klein, in accordance with New York State education law, it is my pleasure to present the Willsboro Central School Class of 2021. and to confirm that each member receiving a diploma tonight has completed all the necessary requirements as set forth by the New York State Board of Regents. So I ask Mr. Ford and Mrs. Klein to come into place for the presentation of diplomas. While they're coming into place, we have a professional photographer here in front that will be getting pictures of all graduates. Family members are welcome to come forward as well, but just please watch out for the photographer that's on the floor so that we don't get in her way. We've instructed all graduates to make sure they smile for as many pictures as needed before we leave tonight. We're going to start with the side to my right, so if you're a parent with somebody on this side, we're coming to you first. Devin Orrin Meacham, Regents Diploma, North Country Community College. Nicholas Scott Opilda Rethel, Regents Diploma, Career and Technical Endorsement, State University of New York, Plattsburgh. Chase Raymond Sousa, Regents Diploma, Clinton Community College. Brady Pierce Sweat, Regents Diploma, Career and Technical Endorsement, National Technical Honor Society, Paul Smith College. Maya Sophia Green, Advanced Regents Diploma, National Honor Society, State University of New York, New Paltz. Taylor Lynn Spear, Career Development and Occupational Studies Commencement Credential, Champlain Valley Educational Services Continuing Education. Kyle Thomas Jakes Britton, Advanced Regents Diploma, National Honor Society, University of Rochester. Stephen George Liebeck, Salutatorian, Advanced Regents Diploma, National Honor Society, Keuka College. So now we're going to come to the left side so everyone over here can stand, please. Jacob Allen Flora, Regents Diploma, Career and Technical Endorsement, Clinton Community College. Robert William McShane, Local Diploma, Career and Technical Endorsement, Workforce. Hunter Morris King, Regents Diploma, Career and Technical Endorsement, National Technical Honor Society, Clinton Community College. Trenton Vaughn King, Regents Diploma, State University of New York, Plattsburgh. Trent, we need that picture, remember? Come on back. Parents won't let us live it down. Brennan William Farney, Advanced Regents Diploma, National Honor Society, St. Lawrence University. Desiree Olivia Kazava, Advanced Regents Diploma, National Honor Society, North Country Community College. Jade Elizabeth Finney, Advanced Regents Diploma, State University of New York, Plattsburgh. Robert Harold Drillette, Advanced Regents Diploma, Clinton Community College. Reagan Patrick Arnold, valedictorian, Advanced Regents Diploma with Honors, Mastery in Math and Science, National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, Hamilton College. So I'm going to ask all of our students to now rise. You can put your things under your chair. You're going to need your hands for your tassels. Yep, come up. We want to make sure we get a good shot of this. Smile. And this side too. Let me know when you guys are all set. We good? All right. This is the most important part. I'm going to now ask the class of 2021 from Willsboro Central School to move your tassel from the right to the left side of your caps. And I am now proud to present to you the newest graduates of Willsboro Central School, the class of 2021. Congratulations. At this time, each of our graduates has roses for family members that they will now bring. So please remain seated and they will come to you to present their flowers of appreciation. As our graduates return to their seats, we will present the senior slideshow. Immediately following our slideshow, our seniors will walk out to the front entrance. Please enjoy the show that I will get started.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
I was thinking about the band, I was thinking about the fans. We were underground, loading merch in that 12-passenger van, in a small club in Minnesota, and the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name and a star. Now look at where we at, still growing up, still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older, couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that blast first. Wish I made it to homecoming, got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought and felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open, and the stars above. Moment frozen, sneaking out and falling in love. Me, you, and that futon, we just begun. On the grass dreaming, figuring out who I was. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Never thought we'd get old. Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I've been missing what it's about. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past while missing out on now. We've come so far, I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars, I've been around. I felt some pain, I've seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. I wish somebody would've told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days. I will saw you smiling in the sun. I wanna feel your warmth upon me. I wanna be the one. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for memories. I'm so tired, I can't sleep. Standing on the edge of something much too deep. It's funny how it feels so much we cannot say a word. We are screaming inside, oh, we can't be heard. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. So afraid to love you, more afraid to lose. Clinging to a past that doesn't let me choose. Where once there was a dark